All right. So my goal is by the end of this session that you are a bit more confident in your wine tasting notes. So whatever the precisions that you get to, I want you to feel good about, your tasting notes, how you describe the wine, how you perceive the differences between the two wines. That's really, what we are focusing here. And, maybe you will identify some areas to improve your tasting skills. And, we can talk about how I can help you in the future to improve your tasting skills. So the way this session is conducted, I explained to you my approach, which is different from the traditional wine tasting approach that you might have learned at the wine school, WSET, the Wine Society, the American Wine Society, because I like, I want to make the task easy for you. And comparing two wines side by side is what our brain and our senses do the best. So we will then taste the two wines, and then we will reveal, do the big reveal, look at the descriptions, and try to compare your wine tasting notes with what the winemakers or the reviewer has described about the wine. And my goal here is to try to decipher, sometimes those wine tasting notes that are a bit mysterious, to make them a bit elegant and more intriguing, but, to get back to the basics about what type of aromas do they mean, what type of taste or feel. All right. Okay, so in terms of the wine tasting, I hope you have your two glasses. I have mine. Oops. I like to cover my glass because it concentrates the aroma in the headspace above the liquid. You have maybe you have your wine aroma wheel, something to take notes. And then we are ready to go. Okay, Jay, Caroline are pouring. Norisha is going to find her wine. And we might have Vidya joining also from the Bay Area. She's running late, so she sent me a note and said, well, work is too crazy these days. All right. So if you've never tasted with me, one thing that you have to be very comfortable with is that there is no right or wrong answer. I won't tell you what you should be tasting. I won't tell you if you're right or wrong, or, if you come up with something, that maybe traditional sommeliers will tell you, you'd never taste that in rosé. To me, I'm curious. I want to understand a little bit more why, this particular flavor or feel, was evoked in the wine. So there is no right or wrong answer. Feel comfortable with that. So we have two wine styles, a Côtes de Provence and a Tavel, which is, from the Rhône. And different regions, different winemaking styles, different blend composition. And that's really not, my goal here is not to decrypt how the wine is made and what it confers in terms of the profiling. It's more about having different wine styles and hopefully have different sensory experience. So in terms of the process, you have two samples of wines, and that's the scientist here talking, sorry. So you have the Côtes de Provence, we would say it's sample 1, and the Côtes du Rhône Tavel, it's sample 2. The way we do comparative profiling is first we will we will smell the wine and compare how those two wines smells, because it's more easy for us to contrast products, to say, this wine is more intense than this wine. This wine is has more fruit, the other wine is maybe more on the spicy side. So it's easier to articulate what you perceive in difference than trying to just smell one wine at a time and try to come up with a description. That's the toughest way of describing wine. So comparing, that's what we learn as a child, as an adult, we always compare things. So we are really well trained to do that. So we'll do first the smell and then the taste, and we will share our description. So if you want to pour your wines, any questions before we start? So I like to smell the wine without swirling the glass and then swirl the glass to catch the difference. What I didn't mention, with the wine aroma wheel, we are always eager to find the right name or the most precise name, but think about category. Think about, the difference in these two wines. If you look at the wine aroma wheel in the center, is the left wine more on the fruity side, or is it more on the, I don't know, woody side, caramel side? And once you determine, what category you perceive, then you can start, moving forward to be a bit more specific. Okay, let's see what the labels said we should be tasting. The back of the bottle was a bit of a description, and it says this rosé is produced blah blah blah, gives you that the winemakers an 8th generation grape grower and vintner. So it's fantastic. So that's not what we are interested in, but we are interested in the flavor and sensory description. So talk about acacia, which honestly, I don't know what it smells like. I would say maybe more honey, but lychee, which can be a bit floral as well. Strawberries, we got strawberries, yay. The palette is balanced, round and lengthy with aromas of nectarines, peach, nectarines, same family. Clementine, so that's maybe now citrus, several mentioned citrus, maybe grapefruit, I think I heard. So that's the winemaker's notes. And then I found on the Reverse Wine Snob a review, a bit more detailed, but definitely they were recommended this wine for its strawberry, cherry, and a little watermelon aroma, some salty minerality. So in all honesty, minerality for me is a mystery. There are lots of dimensions in minerality, and what I associate with minerality is more the Chablis minerality, which I describe as a flint note. In French, we say like pierre à fusil. It's more like the old lighters. When you were lighting the old lighters, they had this sulfury smell that is, I think, many people associate with minerality, but what I discovered more here in North America, people also associate anything a bit salty, maybe oysters, with minerality. So that might be other dimensions. So we didn't get that aspect, I don't think. We had flowers as well. Somebody mentioned herbaceous, I think. So the body was lighter. Yeah, Nourisha, thank you. Yeah. Tart, strawberry, melon, peach, citrus. Well, we are in the right category. I think we did a great job in describing, and I think this review, if you want to follow a reviewer that has, your same experience, maybe those guys are tasting pretty well. They have a smooth mouthfeel. They don't really talk about the acidity, but here at the end, it says it's dry, long, and mouth-wateringly, whatever it means. But as soon as a wine writer says mouth-watering, translate sour, because when you taste something sour, your mouth, you salivate much more, and definitely it becomes more mouth-watering. All right, so pretty good description. I was very surprised that we had so many different notes in this style of rosé. So good job, everyone. Let's see what the Tavel says. So it's from the wine.com description. So it's from the winemaker's note. And on this one, there was no reviewers or critic description, except that I saw on LinkedIn that James Suckling was recommending this wine. So I said, yes, good. All right. Talk about the color. I'm more interested in the flavor. So aroma of raspberry, wild strawberries. So wild strawberries taste like strawberries, but probably more intense. And pomegranate. Who said pomegranate? Narisha, you said pomegranate. Yay. And some peppery note. We had the peppery note as well. It's a balanced and flavorful, long finish. Well, it pairs well. I don't know about that, but okay. Well, so we had the strawberry. You know, most of us, maybe some peppery note. The acidity doesn't come forward in the description, which also go along with your remarks about the fact that it was probably low acidity. Yeah, I think we have a good description. We said more candy on this one, and more caramelized and more on the dessert type of flavors more than the fresh fruit. That's not what they share. That might be a little, a bit different. We also mentioned creamy or buttery note. That's not what they mentioned. But we agreed among ourselves, which is good. All right. I saw that the last Thursday of July was Shiraz Day. And I said, well, why don't we do Syrah versus Shiraz just for the fun of it? So if you have any favorites, feel free to share. Otherwise, I will be hunting, but
so it'll be one Shiraz and one Syrah.
Yeah. And I think it will be difficult to find a pure Syrah, so I will see what we can find, but dominant Syrah, yeah.
Wow, how fun. I love it.
That's July 26th. I'm traveling before, so it's not really every month. It's maybe every 5-6 weeks, but that will be July 26th. If you feel that, you need more training and you want to explore a little bit, the program that I have that I call the Path to Wine Tasting Mastery, would love to talk to you and help you develop your sense of smell, because this is really what it is all about. Develop your sense of smell and your confidence in your tasting. And I'm also a ambassador for the Boissé wine, which are located in California, and they have this sale, until the end of June for Rosé. I tasted this wine. It's something, a hybrid between the Côtes de Provence and the Tavel. It's very dry and strawberry, but not too acidic. It's quite very rounded. I really liked it. But again, it's personal, so you can check that online. So what I will do is usually I give you a QR code. You can snap it and have this information right away. But what I will do is on Monday I will send you a summary of the tasting with the expected tasting notes, our experience, and a link to these different to these 3 opportunities to pursue your tasting practice. Thank you.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad that you were all able to join, and really appreciated the exchange and the conviviality. I think that's what it is all about. Tasting wine is about sharing experience and having a good time together. So thank you.